The Nigerian Army has again insisted that the casualty figures suffered by the Nigerian Army from the Metele attack is a far cry from what is being circulated on social media. Brigadier General Unokwa, who is the commander of the newly established Nigerian Army Cyber Warfare Command, said this in Abuja at a national retreat tagged Social Media for Good Governance. Oyin Adekele has the rest of the story.
The retreat, which was organized by the Federal Ministry of Communication, is primarily to sensitize Nigerians and social media influencers on the best way to use the social media to foster unity and national development. Speakers at the event all enumerated both the positive and negative influence of the social media and how it helps spread fake news.
I'm happy to be with social media influencers and a lot of young men that are here. But I would advise that each time you have a report, let's not be quick to go to the press. I'm the first person to publish this without verifying your facts. A typical example is the Metele attack. There is no figure that we have not seen brandished. Some have said 200 people killed, 300, 500 disappear, a lot of things. And people are quick to retweet these things, say these things, send these things without verifications. And the truth is, how many people do we even have in a battalion, let alone saying you kill 200 people at the same time? However, the army came up about 2 days ago to say we lost, unfortunately, 23 people. And there's a procedure. If I would just use this opportunity to tell, there's a procedure before you declare someone killed. In the army, you will not say someone is dead if you don't find the dead body. You cannot assume. It is a battle. You cannot assume that. Even after finding the body, you must inform the next of kin. You cannot just go around saying somebody is dead, you have not found the person, you have not gone to tell the wife or the son or whoever is the next of kin, and immediately you publish and say so people in so battalion is dead, or they are dead. So I want to implore all of us to watch what we post. The army is your army. You are all Nigerian, it is Nigerian army, it's not any other thing. And when we go around castigating the military, saying that the military this, we are the people at the end of the day. People are here, we're all under this AC. There are people in the trenches. I know we will say, well, you chose to do that. Yes, we chose to do that, but we are defending this nation. So as social media influencers, social media practitioners, I want to even beg you, let us verify our facts before we say them, before we keep posting whatever it is we want to post.
What is the implication of the social media for the spokesman or the image maker today? The implication is that every organization is perceived according to the information that they're able to put out there. The more contents or information you have out there in the public space, the greater the peace you are going to enjoy. A lot of times, the reason why governments and public institutions have challenges with the social media is because information takes time. Because it's going through the processes of having to get approvals from people before the information can be put out there. But the truth is that that information that you are trying to get approval to put out there is already in the public space. So there is need for proactivity by organizations in managing their information.
In his address, Minister of Communication Adebayo Shittu says government is doing everything to harness the potentials of the social media.
The proceedings of this retreat over the next 2 days will no doubt stimulate our minds as we focus on how social media tools and trends can help improve governance, and most especially as we approach the 2019 general elections in Nigeria. Of course, this becomes imperative because we have known the abuses and misuses which many of our not so patriotically endowed citizens have been using the social media to wreak some havoc. The introduction and unprecedented popularity of social media platforms have fundamentally changed the mode of person-to-person communication, interaction between government and the governed, as well as all manners of interaction between public and private entities and the general public. In an era when the social media have become very strong platforms of information dissemination and public discourse, it is imperative for government and the key players in the private sector to pay extra attention to feedback from and utilize these new media to provide platforms for government/citizen and business/public engagement in an online, real-time, limitless, if I may say, and interactive manner. Privacy is no longer a social norm. Social media has taken a leap to bring more private information into the public domain. But what does it mean for governments, citizens, and the exercise of democracy, particularly in our climate?
Stakeholders at the retreat agreed that there is need for governments to give information promptly and adequately to stem the issue of rumors among Nigerians, which eventually leads to fake news. Oyin Adekunle, TV 360, Nigeria.